Thinking.
It's not happening with him.
It's a matter of life and death.
I'll tell you what's the matter with life and death. That beautiful lady over there. Hey, baby, check out the gun show going on over here. Boom, boom, firepower. Where are they?
Killing is making a choice.
Hasta la vista, baby.
That's not how the Force works. My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Welcome to another episode of Oh So Curious, where you can find three curious minds trying to tell time. I'm Andrew, joined today by the returning resident Stargate fan, Magdalena, and of course, Dolphins and Marlins fan we all envy, Ryan. Let's kick things off with some quick hits. And no, today is not the day we're doing Water is Wet, but I promise you one of these days we're going to get into it. How are you guys doing? First of all, before we get
right.
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
You know, it's early, but the caffeine is on. It's hit. We're doing it. All right. Well, you know what? As long as everybody's fine. I'm gonna get right into my quick hit. Just about. You got something?
Yeah. I'm still like, welcome back, guys. Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, she's been away for a couple weeks. So
yeah, I made it back from England somehow. I'm glad to be back. Never again.
Well, back there. It's good to see you. Anyway, quick hits. These are going to be quick. I saw a movie called Old Henry recently, and I noticed that there's a strange trend of westerns coming back this fall. We've gone years. I can't remember the last time there was one western, let alone 7. We got quite a few coming out right now. A lot of guys in cowboy hats and guns taking place in the 1800s. This is an interesting one. Stars Tim Blake Nelson, who's a really good character actor, but it's a slower, kind of more cerebral. It's got its action, but it's a slower paced movie. Not your typical western.
What's with all the westerns making it come back? That's the first question I've got for you. What do you guys think that is? Is it because it was like a dying genre for a while, or I mean, Tarantino played with it, but they're really going it full on gold-on classic.
I don't know. Maybe everybody. Maybe like all the directors and producers are getting bored of like all the, like the big special effects, that Andrew's he's not too keen of, but
right.
But maybe I don't know, because the old westerns, it's just like your, basic, just here it is, like right in front of you type movie, here's what it is and take it as it is type movie. So,
right.
I mean, I don't know. This is an interesting type of western, though. I mean, we were kind of comparing it a little bit to. I think Andrew was comparing it to Breaking Bad in a way, and I was comparing it to what's the series that I just finished up? Yellowstone. And in terms of like the whole like protecting your property from like outsiders type point of view. But
we get this whole mystery about this guy who he stumbles upon this basically western plot, and there's a point where he finds a nearly dead body and a bunch of money, and he goes, nope, not gonna do it, and he rides away. But then he comes back, and that's where the story comes in. And we start learning, like, who is this guy he's this sort of recluse who lives with his son, and there's we just start learning more and more about him and seeing like, oh, he's really good with guns. He's really good with guns.
Yeah, yeah. This
Yeah.
isn't
Right.
obviously this isn't the first Western film for Tim Blake Nelson, Andrew. I mean, he
No,
basically starred in the 2018 Western film, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, and
yeah,
it basically taught him how to handle a gun in that movie. I mean, am I
no.
wrong?
He actually he was trying to study playing with guns that way for like 6 months, trying to get really good
Wow.
at that. And you can see like they didn't use any special effects. And that was an interesting because it was Western themed, but it was a bunch of vignettes that could have taken place at pretty much any time.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but this one, we have some dream sequences. It's kind of trippy. We have you know, some action, some story. And Mag, to answer your question, I think there's we get a different type of character in a Western. We get a real kind of a masculine leading man who's quiet, soft
Yeah.
spoken.
We
It,
really explore characters in westerns. I completely agree with you. You really dig into it. Like,
yeah,
there's this really great video game, Red Dead Redemption, that I
Oh, that's a
really recommend.
great video game. I never got to finish
Yeah,
it, but I love that game.
yeah, I just finished it like a few months back, and yeah, really gets you, really makes you feel and care for characters. So I'm definitely excited to see that one. Yeah.
yeah. In terms of this movie, I would say it's a change of pace. Go see it. It's pretty good. Brian, what do you got for us this week?
Awesome.
Yeah, so the new Home Alone reboot, Home
Great.
Sweet Home Alone. Basically, this movie is going to debut on Disney Plus on November 12th. It's supposed to debut on that day. So basically, there's been a little bit of confusion here, and yeah, as we see from the picture here, that's actually one of Kevin McAllister's
Brothers, right?
yeah,
That's his
yeah, it's
brother.
actually Buzz McAllister from the first 2 films.
Oh my
He's
god.
actually gonna be playing a cop in the new reboot, but yeah, there was some confusion though in terms of, when, Disney released its first trailer of the new, Home Sweet Home Alone, movie. Basically, everybody for some reason, everybody thought that,
Mm.
Macaulay Culkin was basically he had something to do with this movie. He was either gonna be in it or like there was a special appearance or he was behind the scenes working on it somehow. And basically no, that's not true. Macaulay Culkin actually took to social media. He actually went on Twitter, and I'll read this to you really quickly. He said, quote, "Hey y'all, just a heads up, since I've been getting this question a lot today, I am not in the new Home Alone reboot. I wish all involved the best of luck, though." Close quote. So, I mean, it just goes to show you that I don't know. Maybe everybody was wishing that Macaulay Culkin was in continuing like his Home Alone
Right.
I think we've
saga.
Can I?
with these just as an audience, the internet thinks that they have control over everything now. It's like, well, we would like to see McCall. We would appreciate at least a cameo at the very least. We
Yeah.
could do that.
Yep.
Good. I'm glad he's
Can I?
not.
Can I just say, Macaulay Culkin's he's got some of the best tweets out there. Honestly, when he turned 40, he made this beautiful tweet to kind of rub it into everyone's faces how old everyone should feel because that guy turned 40. But yeah, I just saw him in the newest season of American Horror Story, Red
Yes.
Tide, and
Yes.
it's really good. I keep talking to you
I have
guys
to.
about it.
I have
It's
to check it
definitely worth
out.
checking out.
I have to check it out for sure.
Right.
Yeah, it looks really good. I've yet to like get into it, but that's definitely something on my list to like get to. Seeing as though I just finished up Squid Game, so
What do you think?
um,
Yay.
You think this Home Alone thing is worth seeing?
honestly, Andrew,
Please,
I
please be.
thought about it and thought about it. I really don't think so. And the reason being is, I've been reading a few reviews on it. It's almost like a shot for shot, like kind of like the same, old story from like the original first 2 Home Alones, where the kid's left at home alone. He has to fend off,
Spoiler alert.
people. Yeah, fend off people from, in protecting his house from people invading and, like a home invasion. But basically, and it's funny too because Ellie Kemper, she was from The Office, and Keenan Thompson, as we all know, they're both two big names a part of this cast of this movie, and it's kind of like a weird casting but at the
Right.
same time, I guess it's appropriate for this movie, but just just a little weird. But this is definitely something that I wouldn't be interested in going to see.
Do we
I
know who
feel
the
like
kid
it's
is?
just the same thing, spit out again.
Yeah.
So,
Who's the kid? Is he
Fair enough.
anybody?
I don't think he's anybody big. I forget who was playing him. Archie Yates is actually playing. Yeah, he's playing Max Mercer in the film. So I
Oh.
don't think he's anybody big. Though. I don't really remember him from anything big. I could be wrong, but he's supposed to be like replacing Kevin McAllister
He was in
in
Jojo
the
Rabbit.
movie.
I remember that.
Oh, right. That
Yeah.
guy. I mean,
Cute little kid.
who knows? Perhaps. I mean, I'm still sort of hopeful that maybe Macaulay Culkin just makes like a secret cameo for like 3 seconds, like a little wave or nod.
That would be pretty
That would be
cool, but
awesome.
We'll be
though.
sure to tweet him this video with you asking him nicely. Like, what do you got
Let's
there?
send it to
that would
him.
be a dream come true. That'd be great.
Max,
right.
what do you got this week?
Yeah, Mags, what do you got for us?
Right. So this week I've got a Banksy story for you. So Banksy, for those of you who don't know, is a secret artist who does art all around the cities. So mainly in London, but pretty much everywhere. So his piece called Love is in the Bin has been sold for $25.4 million in an auction last week in the Sotheby's, sorry. In the same room where the art was actually created. So what the artist did, he installed a shredder inside the frame, and as soon as the kind of auction was done, as soon as the piece was sold for 1.4 million, which was named at the time "Go with a Balloon," he shredded the piece in a room full of artists, auctioneers, people
Why?
who were interested.
Why?
Because he created art.
He destroys it and just calls it something else, and now it's
He destroyed it. He destroyed it to create something else. Live it.
I just look at this
right
though.
there,
I
you
just
can
think
see
it's hilarious. Look at everybody's pointing, everybody's disgusted. Like, what is going on? Like, what just happened? And they're taking it off the
especially because
wall.
the piece was sold, like the piece was sold, so someone actually bought it for 1.4 million. And
watching that video
then
of
it
the guy
went.
taking it down off the wall.
Look at the
that guy
original
definitely-
image, or look at the original artwork though. I mean, it's beautiful.
It's sad.
That guy
So
was definitely in on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here's a clip of him. So that's Banksy. He usually wears a hoodie, essentially. That's like a staple look for him because his identity remains anonymous. And yeah, he is known to pull elaborate pranks and make these sort of ideological points and make you really think and reconsider what is art, essentially. But yeah, 9 people battled for it for around 10 minutes, and then it was someone anonymous who won. Yeah, what I can recommend you guys is to check out Exit Through the Gift Shop. There's this 2010 documentary, which is one of the greatest documentaries about the artist's like biography whose identity remains unknown. Yeah, go check it out.
That's a pretty good one. Well, that's
You've seen it.
encouraging. I'm gonna go home and destroy a bunch of my art and see if it sells.
You have buyers.
I'll find some. In the meantime, here's some Rolan Underground. What's that guy up to? I'm always curious.
This is Dramatic Pause. Rolan Underground, where we talk about what's happening in the world above while in someone's basement. And I'm your host, someone whose laptop motherboard burned out 2 weeks ago. Yes, that's right. For some of you that have watched the videos, notice that there's this weird visual thing that's happening. Yeah, it's because I've been doing a lot of this on my phone. I know that's kind of bad to admit, but I'm going to admit it because I want to be honest. And as some of you also might know, I have been working away from home. I've been busy working on a show with a production I am not going to say the name of unless I have already. It doesn't matter. The point is, a lot of times, actually all the times, I miss out on filming Oh So Curious. So I'm doing my own thing, and it's sad because I have quick hits. Daniel doesn't know this, but I have quick hits. So I thought I'd make a segment called Quicker Hits. This week, I thought I'd talk about the new unasked for show, Chucky, which follows Chucky the Killer Doll. Here's my review, starting with the quicker hit. It was good. And that's the end of the quicker hit. Now for dig deep, right? Dig deeper, and for the quicker hit for just people who don't understand. The Chucky show is actually really good. The pilot came out. You can watch it on YouTube. Sci-Fi, a lot of Sci-Fi mainly does this a lot, where they release the pilot on YouTube to get the attention. And it got my attention. This was a really cool, fun show, and it was amazing to see the timeline continue. Chucky's been really good about pretty much following the same exact, it's been 10 movies. No, it's not that. Anyways, it's been a long time, but it's kept the timeline throughout all these things, except for Child's Play, which was 2018, 2019, which is very underrated. That's a really good movie. It's not like a Chucky movie, but it's still a really good movie. Now, this show is Chucky. I watched the show. I can tell, okay, we're gonna see some really cool kills. We're gonna get a lot of good laughs. And I thought, wow, the original creator must be really happy, or at least the directors for this, the Seed and Bride of Chucky. And I looked into it, and Don Mancino, I hope I'm pronouncing that. I'm so bad with names. I really am. I'm so sorry. Don Mancini? It doesn't matter. The point is, I found out he's written all of the Chucky and Child's Play movies, all of them. And it was kind of, and he's directed most of them, and he's done some things. So this is the original creator doing this. So that's why I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. There's a lot of cool homages. There's one line. By the way, this is spoiler free. I'm not gonna spoil anything big. There's one line where it's like, "Talk to me, damn it," which is from the original. That's the most spoiler I'm gonna get with this. But my review is, I'm really interested to see the backstory of Charles Lee Ray, the serial killer. I am interested to see how these character relationships pan out. I think it's really cool that there are twins in this. It's two brothers, obviously. But it's the main character's dad and his uncle are played by the same person, which I had no idea. The actor that did this was phenomenal. I wish I had names. I'm so sorry. But it was really good. It was I didn't even realize it was the same person, and I watched some extra footage and tried to do a little more research to find out that no, it's the same actor. They just did a lot of practical effects, a lot of stand-ins, a lot of this and a lot of that. Gosh, spoiler-free reviews are so hard to do. I don't know how anyone does it. All right, the name is Don Mancini. I had it right. I just looked it up. I just wanted to make sure. Don Mancini. You just have to give credit where it's due. And this guy apparently is obsessed with Chucky. I don't think he's ever ventured out of doing Child's Play things. He's done tons of shorts related to Chucky. I don't know. I'm not going to look too much into it because I want to see what the show says about it and get that perspective. I went into this and I didn't even watch a trailer. I just saw a poster. I was like, what? That's awesome. And I watched it. Also, Devin Sawa is the name of the dad and the uncle. Amazing actor. I was still stunned. He's Alex from Final Destination. That's where I kept looking. I was like, he's got familiar. Yeah, that's what it is. Final Destination. Yeah, that's. I just really want to talk about Chucky. I am a huge fan of Chucky. I have had the same wallet for 7 years, and it's a Chucky wallet. I am not wearing pants right now, so I can't get it out. But it's it's not in good shape. It's torn. It's old. It's not. But you can still see the two Chucky eyes, and I love it. And it's got another year in it at least. Child's Play is one of the very first horror movies I watched. Like most movies that were rated R, I probably watched it a little too young, but I just always liked it. I don't know, it was always fun and entertaining, and I'm so invested to see where this show takes it. I want to see how these characters end up, what's Chucky's motivation, and yeah. Till next week, have a good one. Stay safe. Have a laugh. Watch a horror movie. Have a good time. Just don't hurt anybody. Simple as that. All right.
With almost 150 new movies coming out this fall, which is ridiculous, we realized you probably don't have much time to watch all the trailers, let alone see all of the movies that studios are pushing out. That's why we've decided to violently assist you in choosing which ones to see. Oh So Curious presents Movie Elimination, Fall 2021. We've already killed off the movies that will be a complete waste of your time and money, leaving 46 titles to choose from. Let's get started. Round 1. Dramas. American Underdog, Ida Red, The Tragedy of Macbeth, Spencer, The Many Saints of Newark, Birds of Paradise, King Richard, The Power of Dog, The Last Duel, Passing, Tick Tick Boom. Winner.
You're not gonna just be representing you, you're gonna be representing every little black girl on earth.
I'm not gonna let you down.
How could you?
Round 2. Sci-Fi. Dune, Finch, Eternals, Matrix Revolutions, Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. Winner.
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams. Am I crazy?
Round 3. Comedies. The King's Man, Red Notice, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Winner.
Somehow, the town with no fault lines is shaking on a daily basis.
Round 4. Westerns. Cry Macho, The Harder They Fall, South of Heaven, Old Henry. Winner.
The hell are you doing? There ain't nowhere to board a train, you damn stupid nigga!
Well, you might could have said nincompoop.
We ain't no nincompoop.
Round 5. Animation and family movies. Sing 2, Addams Family 2, Encanto, Ron's Gone Wrong. Winner.
Gift or no gift, I am just as special as the rest of my family.
Who wants more pink? All right, guys, where do I drop the wagon?
Maybe your gift is being in denial.
Well, we hope that was helpful. I'm sure now you have a good idea of what's worth seeing, what's not, and everything else has been eliminated. So if you want to,
That's a lot. That's a lot.
There's a lot. We went through, yeah.
I have a seizure.
Yeah, I felt a little bit of that too. It wasn't just me. That's good. That's good. Yeah. So we're gonna sort of decrease the altitude, get rid of some of that turbulence now. And we're gonna dive a little deeper into why we made certain choices and talk about this packed season of movies.
We're here to help.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We want to help people. So I was looking at all these things, and I was realizing that almost none of these movies take place now. And I have a couple theories as to why. But if we look at something like Old Henry, which is a Western that takes place in the 1800s, or Last Night in Soho, which is a dream in the 1960s, West Side Story, again, the 60s, Nightmare Alley, it's a 1920s movie, and even Macbeth, we are going far into the past to tell stories that we've already heard. or to go back and create these intense period pieces. And I think it's because nobody can figure out how to tell a story about right now that's compelling. That's my theory. What do you guys think?
I was just really thinking about the dog barking in the background. I'm sorry, but what are they doing to that poor dog? No, but I completely agree with you. It's like we have so many old movies out there. Like people are really going back in the past. A lot of them are remakes and reboots.
It's almost like it's almost like they can't come up with like original content anymore. That's almost like the feeling I'm getting like nowadays, and they're doing a lot of remakes and they're bringing the westerns back. And
we have Dune, and Dune is a remake, but it's also way far in the future. Same with Finch, far in the future. We can't. What story can you really tell about right now? And our audience is just not interested. Is that what studios are assuming? That audiences are tired enough. It's like, yeah, I would love to see people staying at home in their sweatpants for
well,
2.5
I'm in it for costumes, that's for sure. Just look at that. That fashion needs to come back.
Quarantine fashion or what? Western fashion.
Huh?
Which fashion?
Yeah, Western. Why not? I would completely like see you guys wear a cowboy hat and stuff. That would be really cool.
I love the Roaring 20s fashion. I mean, I'm kind of missing that a little bit, but
no, but 60s would be good. Like the West Side Story and stuff. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that either. I mean, that would be really nice. But yeah, Andrew, you definitely have an interesting list of 5 films coming out here. I think one is already out, correct? Is Old Henry already out? Yeah, October 1st, I think that came out.
Oh, then.
But yeah, I mean, this is quite the list. I mean, what made you kind of take this path and like choose these movies? So like, what was like the reasoning behind it? Like, what inspired
I was looking through a bunch of trailers, and I was just trying to find something, because I think when you look at a rom-com, rom-coms are usually now. It's usually like, here's how you fall in love today, and they show you like the technology that's and they really build a narrative to the world that we actually live in, and there really isn't anything. There also, I'm a big comedy fan, period, and I couldn't find much straight comedy coming out. And I thought maybe these mundane observations are just kind of, we've observed everything that we can right now, and any observation that we make about the present somehow becomes inherently political, and you alienate at least 50% of the audience as soon as something becomes political. And so the best way to escape that is to go far into the future, far into the past, or to show them something that they're already familiar with, like West Side Story, which who's going to disagree with West Side Story now? Probably nobody. And with a trailer like that, I actually got chills. And I'm not a Spielberg fan, as you know.
Why is that, though? Why are you not a fan of Spielberg? I'd like to know that.
Well, if you really want to get into that, I'm not a fan of Spielberg, and I'm not a big fan of John Williams either. I find the two of them together are incredibly manipulative and very
Mags.
And I find that the the emotions that I feel through a movie with either of their work in it is sort of canned. I don't have to think about it. It's like it's telling me how to feel as opposed to like letting me react to it.
Made such iconic films though over our
But
lifetime.
isn't that what films are meant to do?
No.
Films are meant to make you feel and see certain things. They're showing you.
I want to feel it myself.
Their point of view. It's your own.
I don't want to feel manipulated. I want to put the pieces together in my own mind, and come to a conclusion that's emotional, as opposed to being fed a bunch of emotions and said, you like that? Oh, you don't like that.
So you basically want to make your own piece. You want to make your own film. That's what it sounds like to me. You want to make your own
as an
film.
audience member, I want to react to the story as opposed to
Right.
the elements.
Yeah.
Having said all
Yeah.
of that, I think with a story that's already been told, like West Side Story,
Mhm.
the production is going to matter a lot here. The arrangement of the music is going to have to be fantastic. And
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure
like how
that-
different is it going to look? What kind of direction are they going to go in if there's some kind of new direction that they're going in with
It
it?
just
I mean,
looks like it's going to be
Well,
beautifully manicured, and it's going to just the colors, the lighting. It feels old Hollywood, but the quality of the film, of the sound, I mean, everything just looks
thank
great.
you, Spielberg, right? Thank you,
I
Spielberg.
I have to hand it to him. I'm not happy about it. I'm gonna give it to him. Good job, Steve.
It's his first
Steve,
musical.
I would take it, man, because this might be the only thank you that you're getting from
Yeah.
Andrew.
I don't
so-
hand out compliments a lot, Steve.
I need to know, Andrew, are you going to see West Side Story?
I don't know. Maybe.
Andrew, there's okay. Go ahead, Max.
No, I bet we're gonna end up discussing this whole film.
No,
Andrew's gonna love us.
let's not stay on it forever. What
Andrew, there's one film that I do want to talk to you about
What's
in
that?
particular. We were discussing it briefly before the show started, but Last Night in Soho, the movie that's supposed to come out on October 29th.
Yeah.
This looks very good. It was directed by Edgar Wright, I believe is his name.
Right.
What just really intrigues you about this? Because this is definitely put together in a different kind of way. And specifically speaking, the cinematic effects and the special effects, I think.
Yeah, again, surprised myself once again watching these trailers because I could give a about about special effects. I don't care. But this is a really artful use of special effects. And just to give you a little bit of background on it, we have the whole conceit of the movie is a girl has these dreams where she's transported back to the 1960s, but not as a person that people can see. She actually comes back as a girl's reflection, somebody who actually lived. And it turns out that they can both see each other, and they have to film all of these parallel sequences where they're running upstairs, but she's the reflection of the girl running up the stairs, and they match it beautifully. So they're practical effects matched up with special effects in a really artful, interesting way that actually drives the narrative as opposed to just being splashy and
Right.
expensive.
It's a good practical, useful way of using, special effects, if you may. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Kind of like not overdone, not too over the top. It's simple but not too plain. It
No.
kind of it makes it interesting still.
Purpose.
So that's what I got. Basically, I'm always looking for something interesting, cerebral, or new. What were you guys focusing on?
To this
Right.
to this handsome.
I'll let you guys guess. Right. So where do I start? It's all the hunkers that you guys sort of make me say. So yeah, I am going to be focusing. No, I do like it.
Hubba,
Anyway,
hubba.
not yet. So my roadmap essentially this fall is surrounded all the beautiful men that are sort of face of and not only the main stars, but also some of the supporting roles. It's a really good looking season this year.
That's wonderful.
Something that hasn't made it to my list because it's already out there is Venom and No Time to Die. Obviously, Daniel Craig, Tom Hardy. We're starting our journey there. Done. Saw it. Beautiful. But right now, we just had a release of The Last Duel a couple of days ago, which stars Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Adam Driver, and Alex Walter. Beautiful cast. obviously Matt Damon and Ben Affleck together on the same screen. Who wouldn't love it?
Yeah.
Um,
It's nice to see
yeah,
them
like,
back together again in a movie too. I mean,
it always takes me back to the Good Will
Do they kiss
Hunting
in this one?
every time. Pardon?
Do they kiss in this one?
I don't know. I hope so. Then
Oh
we have
man.
we have June, which I was lucky enough to see because we actually got to see in Europe a bit earlier than you guys in US. So obviously we have a Timothée Chalamet, which is like a global superstar at the moment, and he actually plays in all of the major movies coming out. It seems like he's really picking out his roles quite well. But yeah, Call Me by Your Name, that's where we know him from. But yeah, he's supported with Oscar Isaac, which I don't know why. I do like watching him on the screen. We have obviously Jason Momoa for a certain type of taste, and Javier Bardem. Then we on the 24th of November, we have House of Gucci with Adam Driver, Al Pacino, Jared Leto, and Jeremy Irons. We're looking forward to
Driver's
that.
made it onto this list a couple of times. Should we reach out to his
He
publicist?
He's busy man. A friend of mine actually saw him in eating falafel. Apparently, he really likes his falafel.
Oh,
He's a
wow.
falafel man. Yeah, he's really into that. But then, obviously, Jeremy Irons. He was one of the man of the cinema. He was. He still is a very. He aged like a good wine. So I had to throw that. We talked about West Side Story, which is out on the 10th of December, and that one has Ansel Elgort, and we know him from Baby Driver, and he has this very cute face. Let's just put it there.
Does he have a baby face?
He has a baby face. And my cherry on top will obviously go to The Matrix Resurrections, which has the one and only Keanu Reeves. And yeah, that's how I will be finishing my festive season, or starting my festive season on the 22nd of December. Oh, I got all red.
Well,
I
I
just started talking about it.
Conversation anymore.
To this
Brian, why don't you take us through it?
To this handsome.
What's that? What am I doing?
Can you just get us out of here, please?
Okay, I'll try.
He's blushing. Just give him a minute.
Oh
Just give
man,
him a
yeah,
minute.
I think, yeah.
Do we all cool off a little bit? That was a pretty.
I don't know if it's my light above me or yeah, something's going on over here. But so for my segment, I basically did movies based on true real life stories, and this really like hits home for me because this is something that I love, like this quality of work. And what I always say about these types of movies too, I mean, who doesn't like a piece portraying real events about somebody who's a real person? I mean, it's real, it really happened. So there's not too much fake about it, not too much made up about it. So basically, I guess I'll start with Spencer. It's supposed to come out on November 5th of this year. Basically, this movie it stars Kristen Stewart. She's going to be playing Princess Diana. Basically, so this movie basically depicts the Christmas holiday in 1991 when Princess Diana was with the royal family at Sandringham House, I believe is how you say it. I always have trouble pronouncing some of these names, but yeah, it shows Princess Diana. She's about to leave Prince Charles in her tumultuous relationship with him in the royal family. Let me just say, I've seen most, if not all, documentaries on Princess Diana, and I just want to say, by watching those documentaries, you get like a true understanding of basically what she went through with Prince Charles and the whole royal family, the way she was treated, the way basically the way they disrespected her, in my opinion. But this movie looks like it kind of like furthers that a little bit. Basically, And who better to play Princess Diana other than Kristen Stewart? I think she's
I am
Anybody?
shocked. She's fully capable, but
oh
I'm
yeah.
so shocked by that. Like, come on, like Twilight star moving on to she's a brilliant actress. I
Yeah.
don't think she's best regarded
Yeah,
amongst
I
like
don't think they could have
people and
picked
critics.
honestly, I don't think they could have picked anybody better in my opinion. I mean, that's just my opinion, but
Yeah.
I feel like she does the understated performance thing a lot, and I don't know if Princess
really?
Diana was that bland. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh
she was very
man.
young as well. Diana was very young, and I think the youth aspect that Kristen Stewart can actually sort of transcend into her can really help the character. I'm
I think
really
that's a
because
really good
as you
point.
guys
Yeah.
know, there's so many versions of this particular story out there. I mean, we have the newest season of the Crown coming out very soon, like this next
It's
season.
interesting that they would compete. That we get this a lot where people think like now's the time for a
Mm,
story about this particular person, and then we get
yeah.
into them. Why do you think that happens? Why now is Princess Diana on the table?
Well, there is a lot happening with the royal family.
Yeah.
Whenever we talk about royals, like Brits go
There's a lot
crazy.
of dirt that's coming out
Obviously,
on
there's
them for sure.
Mm.
I mean, there's a lot that's
yeah.
dug up on the rest.
It's
Yeah.
also, I think right now film is like different versions of the story. It's a lot more brave. Like we have a lot more room to be brave with the story to actually show certain sides and aspects to it because there is so much more dirt out about royals and controversy that it's easier to portray or make things or make the audience actually believe, yeah, these events taken place in the past. And
I mean,
yeah, I'm
honestly too,
really looking forward to that.
yeah, honestly too, there could be other reasons due to like, the pandemic just in general. You know what I mean? That could have delayed it. I mean, the pandemic this is basically the reason why we're talking about a lot of this and why there's a lot of, movies backed up and jam-packed for like the fall and the winter because, the pandemic
Mm.
basically like delayed a lot of stuff. But I don't know. There could be many reasons why. I think that's a good point though, Andrew. But yeah, I mean, we had The Crown and The Crown's obviously coming out with something else and this just kind of like furthers it though. I think this is definitely needed and I think it's definitely a good point to make a film such as this and use Kristen
What made
Stewart
you such a
for this.
Princess Diana fan?
Say that again.
What made you a fan? You said you watched a bunch of documentaries on her.
It's
What's
just
compelling
very
about it? To you?
it's the compelling part about is that a lot of this like went under the table. You know what I mean? Like people, all they when they saw Princess Diana out in public, it's like they were truly thinking that she was like happy with Prince Charles and that like her life was good and she was with royalty
Yeah,
and it
it was it
wasn't.
was
It
it was that, but also she was sort of speaking a lot about what was actually happening.
yeah. Well,
But it was very often like just really, really silent and
right. Yeah,
turned
and
against her. She was a prisoner in that
oh,
setup.
for sure. And she had
Look at
help.
Meghan Markle. Look what happened to her. Another
Yep.
one that
But
decided to leave all that.
all of this is coming out now. You know what I mean? Like this is all the stuff
Mm,
that you're seeing on the table
I'll
now
admit
coming to
it's
light.
not a story I'm super familiar with or one that I've looked very deeply into. So I imagine there's people who are just as ignorant as I am on this topic. That maybe this will be a good foray.
You definitely I highly recommend you. I think it's a Netflix documentary. I forget what it's called. It might be Diana in her own words. I think
Okay.
you definitely have to check that out. It's really good. And you see both of her sons, very little, very young with her around them and basically like what they went through with everything during their relationship but I mean, it's so interesting. I mean, it's just I love like real life stuff like that and stuff that, it kind of like, you see it come like after the fact and it's like, man, it took like all these years, you know what I mean? And especially after the fact that now she's, she's gone, you know, and
Yeah,
so.
it sounds like a compelling piece. What other true stories are coming out this year?
Yeah, so we got next on my list is King Richard. This is supposed to come
Okay.
out November 19th. This is starring Will Smith. He plays the father of both Serena and Venus Williams, Richard Williams. So Will Smith, the interesting thing about this that really attracts me to this is he actually helped produce this movie as well as just not only just starring in it, he helped produce it. Um, so this is basically just a deeper look into where Serena and Venus basically came from, you know,
Huh.
Compton, California.
Wow.
And the fact that I mean, these are two girls that, you know, when they were growing up, they helped to basically change the landscape of tennis and basically like
Mm.
culture, tennis culture, and very similar like what Tiger Woods did with golf. But I mean, you think about like where they are today and what they have accomplished and what they have done. I mean, you look at Serena especially. She has 23 Grand Slam singles titles. I think that's
Yeah.
like the current open era record. And you know, there's been a lot of controversy, a lot of talk about the way Richard basically raised Venus and Serena, and that he was very hard on them, and they didn't have much of a childhood. And but I mean, you know, in my opinion,
Don't
yeah, it's just you know
just
the way.
look at them.
Yeah, they're on top. It's like they're on
Yeah.
top of the world, and they, you know, they've
Mm.
accomplished themselves. You know, both, like I said, both changing the sport of tennis and just being two very powerful people. You know, and making it better. But I will say too, as far as Will Smith goes, you know, obviously I love Will Smith. The fact that he starred as Bagger Vance in The Legend of Bagger Vance, and he portrayed Muhammad Ali in the movie Ali. Um, Two incredible roles that he did for those movies, both sports movies. Here's another sports movie. You know, I have no doubts that he's going to knock it out of the park again with King
Nice
Yeah,
one.
Richard. So
and I
What
guess
else you got?
was that everything that was coming out in terms of biopics? By the
no,
way,
no, there's still a couple more. We'll get through them really quick. House of Gucci. Not going to get too much into as Max kind of pointed on it already. But that's just basically a movie about the turbulent marriage and divorce of Patrizia and Maurizio Gucci. I said their names right. Lady
Yes, you
Gaga
did
stars
well.
in that movie along with Adam Driver again, Jared Leto, and Al
Yay.
Pacino and Salma Hayek, just to name a few. But after that, yeah, we got so this is actually a movie that we haven't really I feel like nobody's really heard too much about this. And you guys were I don't think you guys have heard about it before I mentioned it, but A Journal for Jordan. And this is actually guess who's directing this movie? One of my all-time favorites, Denzel Washington, which is also
Wow.
awesome. And
that's new.
this stars Michael B. Jordan in the movie. And the interesting thing about this movie as well is Michael B. Jordan actually helped Denzel Washington to produce this movie. So this is basically a true story about First Sergeant Charles Monroe King, which is played by Michael B. Jordan. He's basically deployed to Iraq, keeps a journal of love and advice for his infant son. And basically, his fiance, who's played by Shantae Adams in the movie, she basically shares it with her son, well, their son, I should say, and reflects on her relationship with Michael B. Jordan in the movie. So, yeah, I mean, anything that comes from Denzel Washington, I mean, this isn't the first movie that he's directed. He's definitely directed others. I believe he directed Fences 2016, Great Debaters 2007, and Antoine Fisher
Great
2004 as
film.
well. So yeah, those are also other great films that he's directed. So he's obviously done some great directing work along with his acting work as well.
Pretty
Uh,
cool.
and yeah, and lastly for you guys, I've already talked about this on last week's episode, so this is nothing new. Um, it will be new to Mag since she missed it, but I'll explain I'll explain everything best I could. So, American Underdog, the Kurt Warner story, it's supposed to come out on Christmas Day of this year. So listen, this is a story about one of my favorite football players of all time, certainly a class act, Kurt Warner, who basically is like the true like he is the true underdog. He's this is one of the probably the biggest Cinderella story of all time in sports. He basically was an undrafted college football player who was cut by the Green Bay Packers before the season even started in the 90s, and later got a chance after basically playing Arena Football League and working night shifts at a local grocery store to get the call from St. Louis Rams in 1999. And he basically replaced an injured quarterback, Trent Green, who suffered a season-ending injury in the preseason and went on to win the Super Bowl, win season MVP, Super Bowl MVP, and basically he's in the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, everything about this movie just stands out to me. And if I had to pick one from my list that I want to see the most, it's probably this one. And I mean, that's the sports side definitely speaking, from me. And I don't know. It's just, yeah. I think you guys should definitely go see this movie for sure. I mean, this is a really good one, I think. So, if you're not familiar with sports and with Kurt Warner, this is. I mean, you don't even have to be a sports fan to see this one.
I mean, there's so many movies to go through this fall. It's going to be tough to make a choice. I think it has to be down to its preference, like everyone's preferences.
Yeah.
And if you haven't heard enough here, I think Dan's got a few that he wants to run us through. Dan, what did you have for us this week?
Have you ever had a dream? Visions of the future? Sent here thousands of years ago, feeling like you don't belong? Waking up from a long slumber, not knowing your way home? Hello, I am the voice of Dan, and I have just the right moving pictures for you. If you live amongst the stars or fight ghosts from afar, this fall check into your town's favorite Nickelodeon and feast on the out-of-this-world menu featuring Dune, Eternals, Ghostbusters Afterlife, Spider-Man No Way Home, and The Matrix Resurrections. Now, if you're still listening, then trust me when I say that at Oh So Curious you can still get a crisp, cozy, most cosmic dose of the greatest movie talk of any niche movie commentary podcast. You can find us on YouTube or your favorite podcasting service by typing OSOCURIOUS into your computing machine. I'm the voice of Dan for Oh So Curious, and we'll dip the ice cream for you.
Join us again next week for more fun, chaos, there will be chaos, and controversy. I can guarantee that. On deck, Dune, we will be reviewing the new movie adaptation of Frank Herbert's legendary sci-fi novel. Mags has already seen it. I've already seen it. The rest of us have to wait a few more days, but that's okay. Patience is a virtue, they say. Is it not? I don't know. Are you guys planning on seeing it? How soon can we see it? When is it coming out? I don't even know.
October 22nd, I believe, is when it releases in the United States.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and UK. For those of you who are in UK. Yeah, I'm so excited. Finally, I cannot hold any longer.
Is it good? Are you happy? I thought it was loud. That's pretty much my...
It was good. It was a faithful adaptation, and then
yeah.
Did you read
the
good
book?
cast? Yes, I have.
Oh, so you get bonus points.
Yeah, bonus points.
Yeah, I had a pretty low score.
This is a loaded cast. I mean, there's a
It
lot
is.
of good
Performances are pretty good, but we'll get into all that next week. I think in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave us a comment below. Give us a 5-star review. We deserved it. We earned it, didn't we? And if you're listening to us, as a podcast, thank you for checking us out. And until next time, stay curious, my friends. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, boys! I'm back!